Hello dolls, welcome to my channel Asia Ash, and I'm Asia Ash. Today we'll be making one of my favorite things to munch on during this punishment that we're on. Pickled mangoes, spicy pickled mangoes. On this channel we have everything retro, vintage, and rockabilly, so let's get started.
They're trying to figure out who I am. They're trying to figure out where I'm going again. They write a song to my creme, 'cause not everyone's sweet like me. I'm confident in who I am. This time I know where I am going again. I'm adding honey to my tea, 'cause not everyone's sweet like me.
You'll need 2 of these. They smell so delicious, very fragrant. I bought these at my local Indian grocer. You'll need 2 cinnamon sticks. Sorry, I'm kind of addicted to smelling these now. And you'll need 1 teaspoon of black peppercorns. Oops, I kind of eyeball things. I kind of do what I want. I'm a rebel without a cause. I don't follow the rules. And then we'll need 2 teaspoons of cumin seeds. Cumin. And we'll toast these guys so they're nice and fragrant. My eye is already on if you see the smoking. Oh, look at that. Fragrant. It's popping like popcorn. And you see they're getting a little tiny bit scorched on the sticks, so they're fragrant enough. You just want that smoky flavor to be embedded in the pickles. So you're just going to peel the skin off of these mangoes. By my haphazard way of cutting, you can probably tell that I'm not a professional chef. I'm a home chef. I learned how to cut just yesterday. Now I'm doing my time here in our national punishment. I'm kidding, I've been cooking for years. I'm just not a professional. And these mangoes, I actually stole them from Crash Bandicoot. You remember that guy? It's a fun video game back in the 90s. All my 90s kids, they know that. Back on the PlayStation 1. I know. The gray one, yes, the one with the disc and everything. It's just so funny how technology has changed now. But yeah, Crash Bandicoot Warped, that was one of my favorite games. Oh my gosh. Love that game. He was crazy. He was out of control. Another fun game was Gex the Gecko. Yes, I'm a pinup girl who used to be a gamer back in the olden day when games were still on discs and you can rent things from Blockbuster. Wow. No, we don't have that. No Blockbuster anymore. But we do still have our delicious mangoes. So when it comes to slicing, you just want to get as much as you can off of the seed. If you get a tiny piece of seed like I did right here, I mean, that's okay. The key is to get as much as this to pickle. I don't like to waste anything. So just try to get as much as you can off of this. Oh, it's getting slippery. You're really enjoying how I'm like dangerously cutting this. You're like, she's gonna totally cut her hand the way she's like rotating that slippery seed. Nope, don't worry. I know seed jitsu, so don't worry. I am good. See, ta-da! I was able to get most of it off of here. Alright, so then after that, we'll just roughly slice these. They don't have to be uniform or perfect. We just want them to be a nice size pieces. Yeah, I could have just left that one alone. Okay, these look pretty good. You don't want the pieces to be too small. I'll just add them to our mangoes over here. cutting the tops off of my serrano peppers. Just cutting those off, only the top. I just want them to be open for when I add them to my pickling solution. So we're just going to cut these guys off of their tops. Okay, well, you know, I am feeling a little bit red queen today. I mean, after all, I am wearing red. I have a knife. I'm only missing a crown. I guess my little barrettes will have to do for that. The Queen of Hearts, that is. And just like the red Queen of Hearts,
with their heads!
hey, and in case you want to actually eat the pepper part, probably pick a pepper. You actually want to eat these. I'm going to go ahead and cut these in half. Originally I was going to keep them whole, but I'll go ahead and cut them in half. You want the seeds. You actually want the seeds. You want that heat. You know, you want that heat, that spice, that kick, that action. You have to have that, dolls. I feel the pepper juice in my mouth. And our last thing that we're going to cut up, just excuse the pepper genocide on this hand over here, but I'm going to cut this lovely chunk of ginger. I've already scrubbed it earlier, so I just like to break him up a little bit. Let's break off the bits. And we can leave the skin on because this is simply for that spicy, gingery kick. So we're just going to roughly chop him up. Oh, see, my knife all of a sudden acts like it's sharp again. It wants to cut through the ginger perfectly, but it wanted to struggle on the peppers, trying to embarrass me. We're going to have a chat later on, knife. Okay, I'm just going to eyeball it here. You don't have to have these pieces perfectly sized. You just want them to be open, basically, so the skin is still on. I love the smell of fresh ginger, don't mind me. Oh yeah. Roll that beautiful ginger footage. Okay, well, we have our final ingredient. And we're ready to start our brine.
'Cause not everyone's so
Okay, dolls, so now we're going to go ahead and start our brine. We have our distilled white vinegar. You can use another vinegar if you like, but mangoes are pretty sweet, so you really don't necessarily have to use something like an apple cider vinegar. So you can go ahead and just use plain distilled white vinegar. Don't mind her, she's hungry. So we're going to get 3 cups of white vinegar. I didn't eat my Wheaties today. You saw me struggling with that huge jug. It's bigger than me. So 3 cups of vinegar, and then we're going to get 3 cups of water. You can use filtered water if you like, of course. But this is going to boil out, so that's fine. And then we're going to turn the eye on, add the sugar and our spices. Okay, so go ahead and turn your eye on a medium. We want to get this guy boiling. And while that's getting ready, I'm going to go ahead and add 3/4 of a cup of sugar. I told you I did not eat my Wheaties today. Look at me. Well, the dog can't break a nail over here now, can we? I know the nail salons are open again, but I'm not going. I do my own nails actually, ladies. Some of you might do your own nails as well. It's really easy. If you want a tutorial, there's tons of them already on the YouTube. So I'm just going to add 3/4 of a cup of sugar. I feel like I thought I saw something in here. I'm not sure. I'm just going to make sure everything looks okay. Someone used a wet spoon. No wire hangers. Mommy dearest, everyone. Okay, add our sugar. I meant to do that. I totally meant to almost drop all of those on the floor. And then we're going to add 3 tablespoons of kosher salt. And guess what? This is a 1/2 tablespoon. So you know what that means? We're going to need 6 of these. What happened to my tablespoon, you ask? No idea. It's a mystery. It's been found missing. You'll see that in the next episode of Unsolved Mysteries. Alright, and there's 6. See, improvise, folks. Because what if you really don't have measuring spoons for some reason? Or measuring cups? You can make do. Just think, since this is a vintage retro channel, just think about our forefathers. I'm pretty sure they eyeballed a lot of things. They didn't have all of the measurements. I'm going to turn up the heat a little bit more because I'm impatient and I want this to come to a boil pretty fast. Okay, it's come to enough of a boil. We don't want our liquid to evaporate, so we're going to go ahead and turn off the eye and move this away over here to join our delicious spices. So our spices and our brining solution can come together in holy matrimony. Hallelujah. And while this is still hot, go ahead and add your spices just to make it a bit easier on them when you go ahead and add the pickling solution to the jars. If you want, you can also boil the spices. Spice Girls. You can boil the spices as well with the brine solution. I just opted to add them while my solution was still boiling hot. Just let it sit there while I stuff my jars full of mangoes. So now we're going to go ahead and stuff our jars full of mangoes, much like your grandmama might stuff her pockets full of cheddar biscuits at Red Lobster's. No? Oh, too soon? Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I guess we can only do delivery Red Lobster now. Tear. So I'm going to go ahead and add my delicious mangoey goodness to the jars. These jars are large for no apparent reason. All of the sizing, measurements, and such, mathematics, geometry, trig, that will all be in the description box below. As for me, cooking is about fun. Only baking has to be 100% accurate. For me, this is just about fun. So I feel like that's enough mango goodness. Let's share with the rest of the class.
You're trying to figure out who I am. You're trying to figure out where I'm going. You're at a salt to my woman. It's not everyone's like me. I'm confident in who I am. This time I know where I am going. I'm not running to my turn. It's not everyone's like me.
So I think I'm going to go ahead and grab some of these guys. I'm going to dump about half of these out. And that's what's fun about cooking. You want some of these peppers to be in the middle. You only want them in the action. Action. pepper action. This is going to be super spicy. Spicy peppers. Spicy. Unless you're a pepperhead, then this is nothing. These aren't habanero or ghost peppers or anything by any means. Not at all. I'm just stuffing these peppers like I've lost my mind. Now we will go ahead and add a few chunks of our ginger. Bam! Kablam! Not trying to get sued by Emerald Lagasse. Kablam! Alright. And because we're adding our brining solution, we actually want to literally, legitimately stuff these. I'm going to make these fit, I promise you. So now I'm going to proceed to add more mango. You could get a spoon or something to assist you in this venture, which I'm about to do. Just get a tablespoon. Get this tablespoon and smush them down so that you can have room for more of the mangoes. Get in there. Get in there. And once they're stuffed in there, you'll go ahead and add your brining solution. Okay, so now we're going to add our brining solution. Let's get our cinnamon sticks out and squish them in here as much as we can. Yep, I really stuffed these. Put myself in a pickle here. I know. Bad, horrible plan. Well, this channel will be full of them. Mark my words. See, I was able to get it in there. Now let's get our next cinnamon stick here and play Stuff That Stick. You haven't watched that game show? It's not real, I just made it up. Okay, it's in there pretty good. Alright, after I just myrtleized, I know that's not a word, just myrtleized that cinnamon stick, we're going to go ahead and pour our brining solution in here. Oh, that's so satisfying just to pour that. Beautiful. It's beautiful. Look at that. Look at those bubbles. Isn't that beautiful? It looks like something out of Anthropology or Home and Gardens magazine. Ah, yes. Now let's do the very same satisfying pour to this one. And if you have too much brining solution, that is perfectly okay. You'd rather have too much than not enough. It's more important to have enough. And since I do have more than enough, I'm going to go ahead and try to fill this up as close as I can to the top. And there's a few little, we want to make sure we get the little air pockets out. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my tongs and kind of poke around in here. Do a little fruit surgery. Okay. Oh, there we are. This one's good. As you see, the bubbles are still coming up, so let's get this one next. See, bubbles are coming up just from me poking around here. Beans don't burn in the kitchen. Beans don't burn in the grill. I know these aren't beans, but for some reason these little black peppercorns remind me of beans. Don't mind me. And now we'll go ahead and grab our gorgeous jars here. End up using the third jar. So 5 mangoes and about roughly 10 serrano peppers. We'll fill up 2 quart-sized jars here. So while they're nice and hot, we'll go ahead and cover these up. These are quick pickles. Tighten as much as you can. Alright, it's beautiful. Pickling is such a fun, satisfying activity. I love pickling. This whole process is really fast. And there you have it, spicy pickles. These will be ready. You can store these in your refrigerator overnight, or you can store them in the fridge for about 8 hours, 5 to 8 hours, and they'll be ready to enjoy. Can't wait to try these. Bye for now.